Hey, happy, blessed, most amazing, phenomenal day. Whatever day you're watching this, may it be so blessed. Listen, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment down below, and I promise you, you're going to get so much value from this. I want to welcome you guys back to Kicking It on the Couch. Well, look, this one's going to be heavy. This one, it's been brewing up for like a whole week. I understand this whole subject's been coming to the front line. And I want to say it like this. I want to call this one turning trauma into triumph. Because I understand, like, we all go through things, and I understand too that people do things differently. People go through things differently, and I want to show you that even from any type of aspect, I'm speaking from my personal experience, everything that I done been through. Like, one thing you never want to do is spiral out of control where you lose yourself. That's mainly the pitfall where we fall into, because like trauma's a real thing. It's real heavy, like it really is. So like it goes like this. I want to point 3 points in my life. One, I've almost died multiple times in my life. Two, going through a deep separation, you know what I mean? And three, losing everything and having to start from scratch. So if any one of those three you can relate to, like, hey, I'm telling you, you finna get so much value from this. And even at that, if you know somebody that's going through it, like, pass it on, pay it forward. So I'm gonna say like this, especially with having, like, okay, the near-death experiences that I've had, it's like it changes you. It really does. It changes your whole outlook on life and everything. Like, you sometimes you don't know who to trust anymore. You don't look at the world the same. Like, you're so on. You could be on edge, on defense mode, or you could just, like, it's crazy. But certain things in life happen for a reason. I know at times while they're happening, we don't ask ourselves that question. We really don't. We going through the motion, and we're trying to figure out how to keep our grip on reality, on our sanity. You feel me? And I understand that. I understand that. But I want to tell you one thing that has always kept me grounded is that I've always valued life. I want you to understand that deeply. No matter what has happened in my life, somehow at the point at the end point, at the core or the foundation of it all, I have always valued my life. My life. You understand? Not in selfishness, not in like ego or nothing like that. It's just, you know, listen, when you when you're at the point where you might die, you really feel things differently. You see things differently in that very moment of time. And the one thing that always came to my heart is like, yo, I don't want to go out like this. I love myself. You know what I'm saying? And then it's crazy, people out there, some people want to kill you. Like, it's like that. Like, some, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying traumatic experiences, sometimes we go through them, and if we take the moment to really just sit back and analyze everything, not necessarily figure out why it happened to me, why this, or going through the emotions that makes us spiral out of control. Like, I'm telling you, when people go through traumatic experiences, they get knocked off balance. Really, they do. And they some people lose themselves. You don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I had a good friend I was talking to last week. She said it best. She's like, it's no offense to anybody, but it's like, yo, we hate people who wallow in their negativity. You feel me? Who stay there. Like, okay, it happened. Grow from it. Learn from it. Learn from it. Understand why it happened, how it happened, and take so much from that. But don't stay there boxed in and just wallowing in that energy. That won't do nothing for you. You feel me? I done been there where you lose people close to you, people that you were willing to ride and die for, and you get betrayed like that. That's crazy. Like, it, like I tell you, it changes you. It shakes you at the core, because these are people that you trusted with your life. But when your life was at stake, I don't push religion on nobody, but the only one that was there was God. You feel me? That's the only person. That's the only being I was talking to that kept me going. And trust me, I'd have been in situations multiple times. You know, so I want to move that from there. Like, I just don't wallow in your negativity. You know, don't do that. Don't do that. Take from it, analyze from that. Like, really internalize everything. Don't lose yourself. Love yourself before anything. And I promise you, you'll make it through all day. You'll make it. You know. So, point two, going through a separation. Going through separation. Now, this one, I'm going to tell you, aside from nearly losing your life, this one really, it really rocks you to the point where you nearly you nearly lose grip on sanity. I could tell you that for a fact, because, you know, especially if it ends in hardship, it's I get it. You know, no matter how much we try and try, it just, either it doesn't seem to dissolve on an even keel. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem to. It seems to implode or explode, and there's just so much backlash from that. Like, what I went through was that through my separation, I had no choice but to take my daughter. It was the best decision I ever made in my life. Best decision. You know, and I'm going to tell you right now, the only thing that came to me in my heart, in my mind, in those moments, was how much I value life. Not my life, but the life of my daughter. And say, yo, I'm my only concern and focus. I understand if a lot of people don't have kids, but I'm gonna say it like this: my concern and my focus was her life, that she was secure, that she was safe, that she was well taken care of, that she was, like, that no harm came to her. That was my thought process. Second was me. I didn't think about me, to be honest, but I was like, yo, as long as she's good, I'm good. That's how much I valued life. I want you to understand that. And it's hard, because when you go through a separation or through a divorce, it's like you really, you like I said before, internalize, and you try to detach yourself from what wasn't you. Because like I said, when you take the time, I didn't. I mean, yes, we all get to the point where sometimes we wild out. We wild out because we don't know what to do. We don't know how to handle it. We don't know how to process it. I get that. We didn't all been there. Females, guys, I didn't seen it all. I didn't, I didn't been there. But I want to say, at the end of the day, that doesn't bring no fulfillment. When you're trying to heal through the process, but you out there wilding out because the way things happen, like, it doesn't bring no fulfillment. It doesn't bring no joy. It doesn't bring no healing. If anything, it brings more disgust, because it's like, man, I don't know why, no, you know. But through my process of it all was that I understand that some people, we're gonna call it toxic, some toxic people, they don't bring out the best in you. They bring out the worst. They bring out a side of you that you either didn't know existed, or you didn't even know was possible, that you didn't even know was there. Like, it happens. It could happen. I understand that. But that's when you start to internalize. Once you finally, like, okay, it's done. You drew the line in the sand. It's done. That's when you're like, okay, that wasn't me. Yes, there's a cause and effect for everything, positive and negative. There's a cause and effect for everything. So sometimes you're not the one to blame, but yes, you are responsible for your own actions and decisions that you take. I always tell people this: looking back at it now, I understand that it's only 10% what happens to you and 90% of how you react. I think you're gonna hear me say that through multiple videos before, but I'm gonna say it like that. And it takes time, like anything else. It's not a walk in the park. It's not a 1 day transformation. You feel me? It's you really filtering out what doesn't belong to you, what's not from you. I'm like, yo, I'm not this type of person. I don't act upon these things because I understand when you with somebody for a long ass time, it's like you fuse into this one person, and then it's crazy when it's not balanced, when there's no harmony flowing through that family, through that love, through that relationship. I get it. Trust me, I get it. It could drive you off the wall when it's unbalanced. And that's what I did. I sat back and really, really did a lot of soul searching, a lot of meditation. I really did believe that, like, people, they undervalue so much what faith, prayer, and meditation can really do. And meditation doesn't mean you have to sit in one spot and close your eyes. No, you could go walk in the park, listen to some music, but don't get lost in distraction. Like when I listen to music, I pay attention, internalize. I filter everything that I need to process. I really did, because one thing I understood from the very jump is that I love myself. I love my daughter. If you have a child, you love that precious life that's depending on you. And that's what's going to bring me up to the third point. I'm going to tell you like that. Just take that into consideration. If you're going through it, if you're not going through it, and you happen to come across this, take a mental note. That way you're mentally and somewhat emotionally prepared, because you're never going to see it coming. Sometimes you're living through it and you don't see it coming. It's like that. It's okay. It happens. Life is always going to happen. If you check through the list of my videos, I already made a video about life is always going to happen. Unexpected emergencies. You know what I'm saying? The third point is that losing it all and starting from scratch. And I didn't been there. Like, people don't understand. I'm gonna tell you because I speak from experience, where you worked your ass off. And quote, the full disclosure, I had 2 jobs. Pay attention to what I'm saying. 2 jobs. So there's no excuse for anybody to even counter respond to what I'm saying. Like, so here's a person who's a father, full-time father, has 2 jobs, and taking care of a precious life. Like, try to even wrap your brain around what type of schedule that is, day in, day out, through and through. So I busted my ass for 5 years to get at the highest point in my career at the time. I never thought it was possible. I'm so proud of myself that I was able to just get to that level and be like, wow, never in my day would I've ever thought I would have been able to climb. And I understood one thing. It's not the opportunity, it's yourself. It's yourself. You bring into manifestation, when you increase your value, that's when the opportunities come. But I don't want to digress. I want to say like this. So it took me 5 years to get to where I was at. Built everything. 2 cars, my apartment with my daughter. We had a cat, you know what I mean, from a baby. And it was just, it was beautiful. And then in the instant, unexpected, life happens. You got this job cutting hours here, these sending people home over here, and you're trying to scrap for every hour to make ends meet. But then you get hit with fees, you fall behind, your checks come up short. Now it's a snowball effect. Now it starts to really overwhelm you, and you fall behind, and what happens? You're playing catch up. But while you're playing catch up, this stuff, it keeps coming. So I had got to a point in my life like, yo, I worked so hard to get to where I'm at, to be losing it all, that's crazy. I said, what am I supposed to do? Get a third job? Are you serious? Like that doesn't even make sense. It doesn't register, it doesn't process, because I'm doing what a good old fashioned American is supposed to be doing, having multiple jobs, taking care of his family, and doing what you got to do to build. And then you telling me I'm getting knocked off because things out of my control, things external things that I have no say in, dictate my life. Like, whoa, that's crazy. And then the thing that's not even the most powerful thing is that the child sees it. My daughter seen it. She said, "Daddy, you making all this money that you ever did before. You told, because I always tell, I'm always open and honest with my daughter. I talk to her like a real person. I never sugarcoat anything. So she's very receptive and she understands. And she's like, "Daddy, like, you making all this money, like, how is it that I'm like, honey, like, I don't know what to say. Like, I got two jobs, and then we can only do so much. It's crazy." And again, another full disclosure: people don't understand. The universe works in wondrous ways. I don't. Let's put a pin in this right quick, so I can get to this point, so you can have something to really, really hold on to, as if something were to happen to you in this way. Is that your heart and your mind constantly generate what you want out of life. Prior to this, like, I'm an artist at heart. Music flows through my veins. I love it. I'm not in it professionally, but I did it for a long time, and I'm telling you, I've always wanted more out of life. That's one thing I understood. So even as I had two jobs, trying to work my career, my passion for music, and living a life, being a full-time father, and trying to live a life that I'm trying to build the life that I want, is that no matter what I wanted so much more out of life. It wasn't about the fame, it was about the freedom. So understand that. Fuck the fame. I want the freedom, it brings. So that's what I understood. No matter what, I wanted more out of life. So when I got to a point in my place where I was like, yo, I'm begging for something to give, because I worked my ass off for 5 years, and to be losing it all like this, that is insane. I tell you, it is insane. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. Like, that is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. I got a life depending on me. I'm making sure she's clothed. I'm making sure she's fed. I'm making sure she gets to school. She gets from school. I'm making sure she's safe and well taken care of. And I'm making sure the bills get paid. I'm making sure this money's coming in. Like, I'm making sure I'm doing what I gotta do to keep my creativity, my flow, my passion from burning out type shit. You gotta understand what's a lot is at stake. So I hope you really, really embrace what I'm saying, so that your heart and your mind is constantly generating when you want. So even when I was going through what I was going through, there was an opportunity that presented itself in a way that I would have never. I just went with the flow of my mind, my intuition, like my spirit. I went with that flow, went with the universe, and I did because after my separation, I did a lot of soul searching. And believe me, when you come across as something as powerful as manifestation, law of attraction, the law of detachment, all that, I can go details. That carried me through what I was going through. And that's why I'm saying, life is a learning process. You're always going to get what you need to keep going, but you got to be open. You got to stop being stuck in a box, because that's all you going to ever be, in a box. That's it. If you don't get out of it, you'll never understand the true potential that you really have. So losing everything, finding out, okay, what something's got to give. Yes, I got an opportunity, but I want to come back to the point of losing it all, starting from scratch. Gotta be working back from square one. I understood one thing: material things can be replaced. That's facts. My daughter's life is more precious than any material thing. So as long as she was good, I was good. I even had to sleep in abandoned apartments. Like, hey, I don't know who that could do something like that, but I had to sleep in abandoned apartments just to survive, just to make sure my daughter still went to school. You feel me? You know, I would drop her off at her mom's place and pick her up. You know what I mean? I still had to play my part as a father to do what I gotta do. And at the same time, no excuses, quote unquote, I still pushed my business outside of my jobs. I still pushed my business no matter what I was going through. I still kept my business open, still kept going. So just in case so you guys understand, if you go through some shit, it's trying you. It's testing you for the life that you really want. Goes back with the heart and your mind generates. Same thing like that. So then getting back to square one, that's one thing I understood, is that I value life. Value yourself. Love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, how can you love another? How can you really express love or bring value to the world if you don't love yourself? Love yourself. Know that when you go through hardships, you have you are in complete control of you. I want you to truly understand that. In complete control. You know, I wanna keep going, but this is I didn't pass longer than I expected. Just know, look, you got this. You got this. If this is preparation for you, blessings on you. If you're going through it, let this help you and guide you. Because trust me, I've learned from different outlets, from different people. So something like this, trust me, I hold so much value to it, because it's like, yo, I would listen to people like this that carried me, that guided me through life, that guided me through situations and circumstances. You feel me? You are in complete control. Turn your trauma into triumph. Don't lose yourself. Don't go down a rabbit hole. Don't spiral out of control. Center yourself. Center yourself. Get grounded. Understand what happened. Sometimes things are out of control, but you can still learn from it. You can still grow from it. And then you'll start to see your potential. I love y'all all across the board. I really hope this helps. I really do. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, pass it on and pay it forward. I hope to see y'all again. God bless.